YouTube world and beyond. You already know what it is, and you already know who it is. It's the Outlier B, and we write black about you cats with another video. What up? How are you guys doing today? We actually have an action-packed episode lined up for you today. We got a lot of things to get into. I want to tell you about my weekend that's coming up. It's going to be a pretty good weekend, hopefully, pretty good weekend. This prompted me to talk about a topic about relationships. I turned 46 this year. So I think, we may be at that midway point, a little bit over that midway point in life. So I figure, we start talking about some of the things that I see and this pseudo family reunion. Not really so much a family reunion, but I'll get into it later. Tell you what's going on, what I discovered from that. We also going to speak a little bit about health. We've been talking about health this whole week, and we're going to continue that. But first, we got to speak about those New York Knicks, my people. Speak about those New York Knicks and the plans that I have over the weekend on Saturday night. So, tomorrow, y'all know, is game 5 of the NBA championships. And I was born in 1980. So, I've never seen a New York Knicks championship. And I used to be heavy in the sports back in the day, heavy in the sports. I think I told you guys I was a New Jersey Net fan based off of my boy Kenny Anderson, straight from Queens. Also, my favorite player during the time who was Derek Coleman, straight from the D, Detroit. So that was my team. I used to always go at it with Knicks fans. And around that time, 92, 93, you had Starks, you had Ewing, you had Oakley, Charles Mason. You had a bunch of New York people, New York people, and that was a very, very, very popular team. During that time, Jordan was playing, who some people call the greatest ever. I would agree with that. I couldn't argue with that. Jordan was in the league. You got Rodman. You had a bunch of crazy players. Barkley. Chris Webber. During that time, he called that timeout for Michigan back in the day. So you had some legendary things that was going on in basketball during like 92, 93, 91, 95, 96, all through that time. For me, personally, I would say that was my favorite time in basketball. You had legends in the league. Barkley, who at one time he was one of my favorite players. I remember when he was playing for Phoenix. I really wanted that team to beat the Bulls, but we all saw what happened with that. That was my team. I used to really, really, really like them. You also had Hakeem the Dream during that time, killing them. So you had a whole bunch of legends still playing in the league. Jordan, Clyde Drexler, the cats that you see on TV now. These were some of the people who was playing. Shaq, Kobe, like all of those legends, man. All of those legends was playing in the league. So I think personally, that was probably like one of the best times to be a fan of basketball. It really mattered during that time. So I haven't seen a New York team one like this in a minute. We got some people on the check-in. We're gonna get into it. $1 on the roll. Word. Big Mont said wasn't nothing going on in Jersey during that time. Nah, you was right. It definitely wasn't nothing going on in Jersey that time. But I told you again, Derek Coleman was my favorite basketball player. I really used to rock with them. So I used to follow them, man. We used to get their games too out here in New York at that time. So I used to stay up to watch the Nets, man. That was definitely my team. So, yeah, I feel like that was the best time to be a basketball fan. That was some of the legendary people. We got somebody else on the check-in. Say hi. What's going on, brother? What's going on? So, yeah, being in New York, the Knicks, they tinkered with championships throughout those years from the 93, 94 times to, I think 2000 team almost went to the finals. I think, they had a few teams that was up there going into the playoff, but no sustained success. And out here in New York, they was questioning New York Knicks management. They was questioning the coaching, questioning everything. Because New York, one of those places, man, you ain't going to make New Yorkers happy. We're going to complain about everything. So we basically, the Knicks, I ain't gonna say we, but the Knicks got a reputation for just making the poor decisions. And it's special to see a team go this far down, you know? And we in the age of virality, or probably a word I just made up, but everything goes online, man. Everything goes online. So it seemed like the whole world is following along with this New York stuff. And it's exciting for the city. And me and my boys, tomorrow, we might hit up a bar, go chill with the people, see if they win or not. I think these things come around like, every once in a while. I told you, cats, I'm 46 now, getting a little bit older. If I don't start doing things like that, like, just experience it. Just experience around, in the bar with a whole bunch of people feeling the atmosphere. Just chill out there, son. See how it is. You know what I mean? Once in a lifetime. It may never happen again. So we got somebody else on the check-in said, "How are you doing? I sub. I also like, you missed that dollar on the road." He keeps saying it's a dollar. It was a dollar on the road, man. I don't know. I ain't see it. I ain't see it. But thanks for the sub, man, and thanks for the like. Everything is appreciated. Everything is appreciated, my brother. So thank you. So yeah, man. Yeah, yo. So it's definitely exciting for the city. I'm gonna be out at a bar on Saturday. Getting, I ain't gonna drink too heavy. Have a couple drinks or whatever. Just chill with the people. Just chill with the people and see what is going on. Somebody else came on and said, "I'm watching you from behind. Turn around. Keep eye on the road. Y'all funny." So whenever somebody tell me to look behind me, y'all know I got to always look, because the day I don't, will be the day somebody really is behind me. So nah, I ain't see nobody. I ain't see nobody. Yeah. But now I know how it feels to get a bunch of fans together, because you guys know I'm a boxing fan. I've gone to plenty of boxing matches, but one of my favorite events ever. This was way back in the day, brother, way back in the day, and this was a fight between uh, a fighter that was one of my favorite fighters, which was Ricky Hatton, straight from the UK. That was my boy, man. I really did like Ricky Hatton. Rest in peace to that brother, Ricky Hatton. He's a fighter. I just like the style. I like this go get him attitude. He never was gonna quit, and he was in some wars, and he always showed his heart. So shout out to Ricky Hatton and rest in peace. I went to Vegas to see uh, him versus Manny Pacquiao. Y'all remember that fight back in the day? Y'all remember that fight? Y'all remember that fight between Manny Pacquiao and Ricky Hatton? Like I said, Ricky Hatton was one of my favorite fighters, man. So I was rooting for him to beat Manny Pacquiao. But Pacquiao knocked that man out in the second round, yo. And it was like one of the most gorgeous knockouts ever. I thought Ricky Hatton was dead. He was just sitting there, just laying down. He was out for the count, son. Like, that was a beautiful knockout. And during the time, I was hating. I'm like, damn, I can't stand Manny Pacquiao. But as I've gotten older, I realized I was watching history with the great Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Was watching history. But it was so fun to be out there in Vegas with a whole bunch of boxing fans, to get out there, talk boxing. Boxing fans are some of the wildest people. We are hilarious. We get so excited during the fights. Like, it's the wildest thing, you know what I mean? So it was definitely cool. And hopefully I could get a similar experience like that over here. I also, I got a video of it where Ryan Garcia was fighting over there in Times Square over the summertime. I went down there to go check that out. I thought that they would be showing it on the big screen. They didn't, but people had their phones out, people had tablets out, and boxing fans was just on the street watching boxing together on people's phones. So people ordered the fight, and they was watching it on their phones, on their tablets, and that was fun. That was definitely fun, being in Times Square on a fight night with a whole bunch of boxing fans. That was official. So again, we're gonna try to recreate that. We got uh, somebody else came on who signed. I tweet said, "I hope you become a big YouTuber." Thank you, my brother. A big YouTuber. How does being a big YouTuber look to me? I often ask myself these questions. How would it look? You know, one thing I appreciate more than anything is my freedom. My freedom, being able to walk and go anywhere I please at any time I want. So that's why y'all not gonna see my face up here too much, man. I ain't gonna be all up in videos. I just peeped that about myself the other day. You know, I look at some people Instagram, some people Facebooks. They always posting selfies. They, want to be in every event with a whole bunch of people. That ain't my style, son. I want to be a ghost, kid. Like I want you to hear of me, but not be able to put a damn finger on me. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to still be able to ride these New York City trains when I want. I want to be able to go to a restaurant without people all up in my face, without the paparazzi, without all that other stuff. So I want to be a message instead of a damn image, yo. I don't want to be an image. I don't want to make this about me, kid. I definitely don't want to make this about me. So that's why a lot of times y'all ain't gonna see my face on camera. I don't do that type of stuff. I want to be able to move throughout the world. We got somebody else on the check-in. He came up with the trophy. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, hopefully we're gonna try to recreate those type of feelings this weekend with the fight. And I also have something very big happening this weekend, man. It is something like a family reunion. Something like a family reunion. If you guys been following my page, I got a video where I'm chilling with my little goddaughter. Shout out to little Trinity. That's my little baby right there. She is having a birthday party this year. She's turning 2. So I got a bunch of family coming from different states. They're coming out to New York to chill. We're gonna have a barbecue, fish fry. It's gonna be like a little party, man. Gonna be like a little party. A little party, y'all. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it, seeing people that I haven't seen in a couple of years. And again, my family is very, very, very large, y'all. I told you, my grandparents, just on one side, they had 9 kids, 9 kids. And what makes it so interesting is that, you can have a large family, but some people are spread out, which we're spread out now. But growing up, we was all close together, son. I mean, most of us stayed in Long Island. You had Hempstead. We had a bunch of family in Uniondale, a bunch of family in Roosevelt, places like that. We all up and down those places, and we all stayed close. And my grandmother's house was basically like the hub, and everybody used to come back to my grandmother's house to chill, and that's where everybody went to go, hang out. So on a day like today, like a Friday, back when I was growing up, you have about 20 to 25 people in the crib. My grandmother would throw a card game for the whole neighborhood. You got 50 people running in and out of the crib. We was just, kids. Well, of course, the adults was there, but, we was watching ourselves, playing our own little games. And there was a bunch of people my age. So I got 4 other cousins who was born in either 79 and 80, just like me. So we all grew up close, man, not just that side. I had older cousins who was like, we came in waves. Like we came in waves. You would have the 1980/79. It'll be about 5 or 6 of us. Then you got the people born in 1982. It'll be like 3 of them. Then you got the ones born in 1984, 2 or 3. Then, just like that, 1990, you got about 5 or 6 of them. So it's like iteration upon iteration upon iteration. And we all cool. We are a great close family, definitely. But whenever somebody said, "Can you please add me on Roblox?" I don't got Roblox, my brother. I do not have Roblox, man. I don't got Roblox, man. Always be fooling with my cousin Makai. He be playing Roblox, and every day I see him because he installed it on my computer, and he plays it all the time when he should be studying. This dude, he get off of school, right? Get out of school, and the first thing he want to do is play some damn Roblox, yo. I'm like, man, you better do your homework first. I'm sounding like my parents. Like, you better do your homework before you get on that damn Roblox. But he loved Roblox. But I always joke with him talking about, yo, you can't see me in Roblox. I'll beat you. And he just always laugh at me, man. I be telling him don't be talking to adults on Roblox. And he's 16 years old. And he like, I'm not a kid, Brad. I be like, Maka, don't be talking to no damn adults on Roblox, brother. And he just always be laughing at me. You know what I mean? So yeah, we just a real close knit family, and that's kind of how we grew up. And with any large family, you're gonna have infighting. You're gonna have uh, aunts and uncles who gonna have their favorites. You're gonna have people getting treated a certain way. People will harbor a whole bunch of emotions, and they'll harbor feelings, right? And listen, you got to deal with it, man. You got to deal with it because in all honesty, your family and the foundation and what you're brought up on, their values often gets transferred to you, and you don't have a choice when you're a kid. So a lot of times you carry the same trauma that your family carried for years. Now, as you get older, you can allow the way you grew up to influence how you behave as an adult, or you could, do some deep, deep, deep diving and searching. And that deep, deep diving could lead you into dark, dark, dark places, man. Dark, dark, dark places. I took this voyage, man. I took this voyage back during COVID time when I got real, real, real sick because you guys know I am a diabetic. And during that time, I was not taking care of myself. So my sugars were going crazy. I couldn't eat. I was throwing up everything that I was eating, and my body was breaking down. And this was like right in the start of COVID, my people, right in the start of COVID. So I am not lying to you. When I came into the hospital for complications of my diabetes, I saw people coming in, COVID patients, and nurses were crying. Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you. Nurses was crying for all the people that they saw sick, all the people that they were dying. Um, it was crazy out here in New York. I'm in Nassau County. So we didn't get the numbers of New York City, but Nassau County and Long Island did get a lot of COVID cases. And the hospital that I was at, Winthrop, there was a lot of people coming in there and nurses were crying. There was a lot of sickness. I had diabetes. They couldn't really take care of me like they really wanted because people were on the ventilators. It was just a crazy, crazy, crazy time, y'all. A crazy, crazy, crazy time, you know? So I did a lot of soul searching, man. Did a lot of soul searching. And I asked myself, what are some of these reasons why I behave the way I behave? Where did these things start? And, I figured out a lot of stuff started with my family. A lot of stuff started with my family. Now, when I first discovered these things, it made me bitter. It turned me into a person that I didn't want to be. But then I had to think like, yo, I'm at the time 40. I'm 40 years old, man. This stuff happened to me when I was 10, when I was 5, when I was 7. Like, how am I going to allow stuff that happened 35 years ago, 20, 30 years ago to affect the person that I am now? So basically, I had to rationalize with myself, like, all right, this is what it is. This is what it made out of me. These are emotions that I get. I know these triggers when this starts happening, and I know where it stems from. So now I can choose to allow that emotion to take over my actions, or I can intervene and be like, yo, it's cool. Don't even worry about it. You're feeling this because of this. That feeling is going to pass. Ride it out, feel it, but it's in the past, and that's it. You can choose to be a better person now. And that's how I've been living my life, especially with that. And this family reunion, condo, birthday party that's coming up. It brings back those type of memories. But the best thing about it is that over that type of stuff, I can truly chill with my family members and have a great, great, great time. You know what I mean? Have a great, great time. People are who they are. You can't go back and change the past. You can allow that to continue making you bitter, or you could build from it and get stronger. And I feel that basically that's what I did, you know? And also, as you get older, the health stuff that I was telling y'all about, man, that stuff is real. That stuff is real. But this was a preachy episode, preachy episode. I did want it to be fun. But, you know, life is all about balance. We can't come up here and just joke all the time. Sometimes we do got to get serious with things. Sometimes we do got to get serious with things. And we got somebody on the check-in. They said, hi, what's going on? What is going on? How you feeling today? We got 3 people in the check-in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if this is something that you're into. And what is this? Ain't nothing special, my people. I'm just a regular dude on him way to work, speaking about the actions of the day. But that's all I got. We are here at this fine establishment called 7-Eleven. I will mess with y'all tomorrow. We got somebody on the check-in that said, praise Jesus. Yes, sir. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. But I'm up out of here, man. I'll catch y'all next week, man. And hopefully the Knicks will bring it home tomorrow. But I'll holla